Good morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to express the immense pleasure that it gives me to welcome you all to the great city of Istanbul for the 89th biannual meeting of IREPAS, our last gathering of 2023. As you all know, Istanbul is a city steeped in history and one of the world's major metropolises and the only city in the world which stands upon two continents. While during the course of its history, it has been the capital of three major empires, the Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman. It remains the commercial and cultural center of Turkey, while four major areas in the city have been included in the World Heritage List of UNESCO. Our 89th gathering in Istanbul also marks the 40th anniversary of the foundation of IREPAS. In the early 1980s, Ricardo Hugas created IREPAS to develop understanding between producers, traders, and consumers of reinforcing bars around the world. Today, IREPAS unites producers, traders, and raw material suppliers, as well as end users and also professionals from the shipping, finance, and inspection industries. Dear colleagues, the global long steel products market is slowing down in general, which is putting pressure on producers. Demand for reinforcing bars and wire rods remains very weak, and there is strong pressure on prices from the new exporters who are in the market with very aggressive offers and who are not subject to anti-dumping or countervailing duty measures. Well, IREPAS firmly believes that free and fair trade is one of the few unambiguously good principles, and that is based on the idea of comparative advantage. Free and fair trade of commodities around the world allows resources to flow to their point of best use. Countries and companies that have embraced this message have thrived and prospered, whereas those that have tried to close themselves off from this trend have not. Competition increases efficiency and serves customers and the public in general. IREPAS always has and will always continue to support free and fair trade in steel. Unfortunately, protectionism still prevails. The EU has extended its safeguard measures for another year, which is clear proof that world trade is no longer as it was defined by the Uruguay round and will continue with its current protectionist structure, which will exert pressure on developing countries. Furthermore, the CBAM in the EU will replace the current safeguard measures in the region within 12 months. Direct and indirect subsidies and state aid will allow the US and European steel industries to remain profitable, while other countries will suffer due to their unfair competition from certain Asian exports. The competition in open markets is very tough as Asian prices are very competitive. The situation in Ukraine seems to be without end. However, the new restrictions to be introduced by the US and EU will create more complications for producers who import Russian origin semis and raw materials and export their goods to the US and the EU. We will witness more circumvention cases in the coming periods. The halting of Russian steel imports into the EU should have a significant impact. Of course, China and its exports have a major influence on the global market. So far, all the stimulus packages introduced in China have had no impact on its exports, which are affecting global steel prices. China's BOFs are working at over 90% capacity utilization, and electrical furnaces are operating under 50%. Dear friends, the world is still going through very tough times, and many industries, including ours, continue to be affected by the ongoing geopolitical and global economic problems. Despite some positives, the current status of the market is unfortunately still fluctuating and unstable. It is always encouraging for us that the IREPAS platform has provided major assistance to our industry during such rough times, helping to overcome a lot of difficulties through the sense of community it has fostered. The conference always brings together opportunities for dialogue and for meetings with other colleagues from all over the world. Celebrating the 40th anniversary of IREPAS this year, our conference is still working for greater convergence in steel world. It is self-evident that if it is to be successful, any strategy for the improvement of our collaboration and our businesses requires the full involvement of all members of our community. We have continued to expand as a community every time we get together, and our community can gain increased vigor depending on the extent and quality of our involvement in the process. I would like to end my words by expressing my sincere wishes for the success of this conference, which is planned to be highly interactive as usual. You will have the opportunity to comment on and influence the discussions at all times. As always, you as participants are the most important element of the meeting, and your active involvement will be essential for the meeting to fulfill its missions. To all of you, thank you for being here. Welcome and enjoy the conference. Thank you.